Hi gang, welcome back to Waxing On. The last week of June. And that means something special in my area. It's time for the International Jazz Festival in Ottawa. This year, got some great headliners. Got Herbie Hancock, Buddy Guy, Snarky Puppy. But there's something there that's missing. We're not getting the big bands that we used to have. Back in the old days of the Ottawa Festival, they had a blues day on Saturday and a big band day on Sunday. Now, big bands, not so much. And certainly, not a lot of the big bands are out there touring. I mean, we get Winton and the Lincoln Center Orchestra come up. Count Basie's been there a few times. Frank Tiberi used to lead the Woody Herman band, but I don't think they tour very much. Gordon Goodwin and the Big Fat Band, really not a touring band. So we really don't see them. Back in my younger days, big bands were all the thing. Just to show you this, I have Belvedere Jazz Festival, Toronto. Mid-70s, can't remember which year right now. 2-day festival. Tickets for 2 days, $8. Can you imagine? $8. I tried to hold this up, but I don't think you can see it. The writing's a little small. But we've got small groups, sure. We've got Carmen McRae, we've got Super Sax, we've got Dizzy Gillespie, we got the Jack Wilkins Trio, Mo Kaufman, Peter Appleyard. Big bands, yeah, they had some of the best, and they were great. Woody Herman's big band was there. Louis Bellson was there. Maynard Ferguson was there. Count Basie's band was there. Those guys were all out and touring all the time. Some of these I'd seen a number of times over the mid-70s that were always on the road. But anymore, you really don't see a lot of big bands. But at the Ottawa Festival, lunch hour concerts, got a couple of great bands to talk about. We're going to talk about 2 of them today. There are a few big bands in the city of Ottawa, but I'm only going to talk about these 2 because they have recordings available that you can check out yourself if you don't get a chance to hear them. And one of them is Ed Lister's Prime Rib Big Band. Ed Lister, trumpet player, composer, arranger, band leader, teacher. I mean, what is this guy not doing? And if you look at the schedule of the festival, you'd say, what band is this guy not playing in? I mean, he's in just about everything. Very active musician in the city. The album, Choice Cuts, 10 great tunes. These are all originals, a lot of them written by the band members, a lot arranged by Ed. Just excellent stuff to listen to. And it's on Bandcamp. We'll talk about Bandcamp in a minute and how you can get a chance to listen to this. I'll just give you a rundown of who's playing on the album, in case you may know some of them. If you're from the area, you're certainly going to know some of these names. I've got Ed on trumpet and Nick Dyson also playing lead trumpet. Now, Nick was 2 of the great lead players I remember from Ottawa. Carmelo Scafidi, Nick Dyson. Those guys carried the lead section through a lot of years with bands in the city. Mark Ferguson on trombone, Michael Schultz on trombone, Zachary Franz on alto sax, Peter Kankura tenor, Brian Asselin on tenor, Richard Page on barry, Clayton Connell on piano and organ, J.P. Lapinzi on electric bass, Alex Mastronardi on upright bass, and Jamie Holmes on drums. If you get a chance, check the album out. Now, I'll just give you the Bandcamp rundown right now because it's going to apply to our next group as well, the Jivewires. Bandcamp is a website, bandcamp.com, and this is not like a streaming network, but it's not really like iTunes. You can stream some of it. You can purchase the music. But the difference with Bandcamp is more money goes to the musicians. We have what they call Bandcamp Fridays, where all sales, all the money raised goes straight to the musicians. And this is rare. I mean, a lot of the streaming networks, musicians aren't making very much unless they're getting a lot of streams going on. But this one actually puts more money in the pocket of the musicians, the guys that are bringing you the tunes and entertaining you. So Bandcamp is a great way to access it. Prime Rib Big Band, you can find them on there. The other group that's going to be there, I featured on the show once before. I'm calling them the swingest band in the land, or the swingingest band in the land, and that's the Jivewires. Jivewires are a kind of, I call it a swing tet. They're calling themselves the missing link between swing and rock and roll. It's a great group. It's I'm just going to grab my other notes here on them because there's just so much. They've been playing about 2 decades now. They've been around for a long time in the city. We've got 6 albums out, all 6 available on Bandcamp, so you can check them out there. I'll tell you, I've got a lot of them myself. They're really, it's a great, tight band. The performers in the band, we got Brian Asselin, tenor sax. Hey, that's what happens, right? They play in a couple of different bands. Asselin with both a prime rib and with this. On drums, we got Jeff Asselin, the brother. Trombone, Steve Byrne. Trumpet, it's Ed Lister. Yeah, he's playing with them too. Ed Lister this time. They've had a lot of trumpet players over the years. Rick Rango's been in there. Well, Bill Rowett, who used to play with a couple of big bands. I think of Vernon Isaac's big band that I saw him with. He was in there when they first started out. Guitar, Dave Foster, Tyler Harris on alto sax, and Alex Mastronardi again on bass. You see, a lot of these guys bounce around to different groups. So that's another great thing. I mean, if you got some favorite players, you never know how many times you're going to get a chance to see them. Now, the albums these guys have out, it is great swinging stuff. There's a couple of them that were really one of my favorites. Is they did a great version of Black Dog, the Led Zeppelin tune. You can get it on the album, but you can also find it online with YouTube. They got some great videos. Look at the YouTube one where they did it at Centerpoint Theater. The version of Black Dog, just excellent. Both bands playing next week during the lunch hours. Love this group. Jivewires, I never get tired of seeing them. I've been seeing them for years at the Jazz Festival. They just have a lot of fun up there playing. The players are just exciting to watch. Steve does a great job with the vocals and the writing, a lot of original tunes. I just can't say enough about them. These two bands, for me, are worth the price of the festival. And they're free, the concerts they're putting on. Can you imagine? I'm not even paying to go to these guys. I'm just going because of the love of the music and how great these guys are. So if you get a chance to check it out, lunch hours, City Hall, Laurier Street in Ottawa, free concerts from 12 to 1. Next week, not this week coming, but the next week, we got Ed Lister and the Prime Rib Big Band, Steve Byrne, and the Jivewires. Two you won't want to miss. Both bands, if you can't see them or you want to check them out ahead of time, Bandcamp is where to go. 6 albums I think Jivewires have on there that you can either purchase, listen to, stream. But hey, think about purchasing. The cost is a lot cheaper than the purchase of a CD. It's discount prices, but all the money's going to the musicians. So let's support these guys. Okay, that's it for Monday. Getting primed up for a jazz festival, right? I got only a few more days to go, so we might even do a jazz show on Wednesday instead of our rock and roll, just to get us in the mood. So we'll hope to see you then. Everybody, till Wednesday, take care, stay safe. Thanks for stopping by.